not heard that music in a while.
I've heard it. I've been up here editing, though.
Ah, well, that's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I have it on my playlist.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Kind
I
play it over and over again. Huh?
That's what he listens to on his earbuds at night when he sleeps.
Nice.
Just
It's on repeat.
On loop.
Nice.
I get really excited to get myself pumped up for the day. I usually play the bourbon song.
Hey, whatever works.
It does work.
Because we did not have a podcast last week.
I forgot.
I was in Albuquerque, so it was my fault.
On Tuesday, and then
I know. I was hoping we would do it Wednesday or Thursday, but that didn't work out.
I guess some other things came up. I don't recall. Last week's kind of a blur for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, Friday night we came up here. It was like 2 Fridays ago.
It was 2 Fridays ago.
Came up here with Chuck's friend. I forget his name. Dave. Yeah, Dave.
Oh yeah,
Dave's
with his kids, right? His kid,
His son and his girlfriend
son showed up. That was kind of cool. All right. Well, here we are.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to get acclimated with. If you got some Android users out there like myself, I'm trying to.
Not many though.
Whatever. I'm trying to learn. I don't want an Android. I'm sorry, an iPhone right now. But I figured I'd try to start the process a little bit. And
you're willing to transition to the Apple world?
I'm not necessarily saying that. What I'm saying is that I want to get used to using the stuff. So I got an iPad for both work and for. For the podcast.
It is different, isn't it?
It is. It's a little quirky. I'm getting used to it, and as you guys can see, I don't have my laptop here.
I see that.
So I'm dependent on this. I've been using a program for work on here for notes writing and for little things like that, and I made a special one just for the dudes like us. And
very nice.
Oh,
keeps like I can write on it. It's totally gay. I freaking love it. It's me.
Well, good.
So hopefully it'll work. I'm looking forward to using it because during the week, we try to always figure out what kind of topics we're going to talk about, and I'm getting to the point where I'm just sending them as an email to myself, and then I just copy and paste the email straight into here. So nice. I'm totally fagging out. I love this, man. It's a good deal. Hopefully it'll work out.
Yep.
Anyways, technology, that could be a topic that we're going to be discussing tonight. Technology with maybe some AI chat.
Oh,
yeah. We did miss last week, so we did not discuss Trump's what speech was that?
That was a joint. They didn't call it State of the Union.
Yeah, they called it that, but it's not really what it was.
It was a joint
address
to Congress.
Right. I mean, it mirrored what a State of the Union address is, but it wasn't officially a State of the Union address.
Why was that?
I don't know.
I think it's because it's early, perhaps.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, Johnson
What's
invited.
That is correct. Yeah, because it was too early, right?
Yeah, because Johnson invited him to speak to both houses, and he accepted the invitation. So I guess they can do that basically at any time.
So when is the State of the Union typically?
It's the same time. It's usually after a year of a president's term. But Trump's been president previous, but this is his first of the new term.
Well, so a new president doesn't give an initial State of the Union?
Yes.
Okay, I don't know if I've paid that close attention there.
Otherwise, it would be
semantics.
Otherwise, it would be what I want the State of the Union to be.
Correct. I think it would be this is what we're going to do.
What we're going to do. This is my agenda.
Right. Which they just got elected, so hopefully you know what they want to do.
All right, well, why don't we...
we've got lots. I mean, we talk about a bunch of it. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of great things going on. We're dropping the hammer. We're eating crow on a few things because, we probably a little overzealous with some of the Doge, and we're just kind of like, slash. It's like a Kmart blue light special, just slash. And then we're like, yeah, we probably need to dial that back and review what we just hacked,
It does seem to be a bit chaotic. But, hey, let's introduce the podcast, and let's jump into it.
All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Producer, Mr. Chuck, behind the scenes right now. Dudes like us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
And here we are. All right. Well, let's jump right into it. We missed a lot this week.
Not according to, but I watched the about half an hour, 40 minutes of the Trump address. And the Democrats made absolute fools of themselves.
Yeah, they did. It was embarrassing.
And I don't know if they're trying to bait Trump into overreacting and lashing out, but at least what I saw, he did not.
And so didn't he open? So I missed the very, very beginning, but didn't he open the address by saying, I can tell you right now, there's nothing I can do or say that's going to make you stand up and clap or clap at all?
He did say that. I don't know exactly when he said that.
Did he say that right in the beginning, Chuck? Do you remember? Because I actually missed that.
No, it was towards the end.
No, it was right off the bat. He went, there's nothing I can say.
He repeated it then towards the end.
That will make you stand up or clap, and I'll show you.
Right. Well, because he knew they were going to be jackasses. And, I mean, but the props, really? The little signs that said false, lies, Elon Musk sucks.
I farted. I saw that on somebody's.
Did it
really? Oh, that would have been good. Oh, see, okay. Here's the danger of holding up signs in any scenario. Because somebody, yes, here's the danger of holding up signs in any video or any still, is that somebody can change what it says.
Especially when it's just like black with generic font on there.
So easy. So easy. So,
what's her name? What's that congresswoman's name?
Yeah, Jayapal?
Yeah, she's holding the sign up, and she's just got this nasty look on her face, and it just says, I farted.
Yeah.
There should have been way more memes about the different signs.
I'm thankful. Actually, on Greg Gutfeld did it. He actually had a bunch of signs made for shows. I think he did it 2 days in a row.
Oh, good.
I mean, it was funny, but it kind of. My boyfriends are all dead. Good Lord.
That's to leave, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, but she's wearing the terrorist little shawl. I mean, that is a Hamas shawl. How can she get away with that?
Okay, well, technically it's Palestinian. Right? So there is some existence of Palestinian that isn't terrorist, but it's hard to differentiate.
She's from Palestine.
Yeah,
yes, it is hard to differentiate in this world right now because, when you talk to any Palestinian on TV, they say, death to the infidel, death to the Jews. So, I mean, they all sound like terrorists to me, but of course that's not true. There are people in there that
it's 100% true. They aren't necessarily all terrorists, but they do all hate Jews.
Well, I wouldn't say all of them, but there are some out there that are like, fuck, man, I just want to go to my job and take care of my family and hang out with my friends, and fucking Hamas is fucking it up for everybody. You know what I mean? I guarantee there's a lot of people in Gaza that would love for Hamas to be gone. But they voted them in, dude. Anyway, I don't know.
You think they really voted, though?
Well,
Did they? That's a good point.
How much of a vote was it, and how accurate was that
count?
That's
a good point. They might have had no choice at all. They live in total oppression, man. They really do.
They do.
I mean, by their own leaders, by their own people.
But getting back to the Democrat, when Al Green stood up and was all defiant.
Oh, yeah.
And he got tossed.
He did.
From the speech. And I heard some comments today that basically he says, they put me in the back of the bus. I had to drink from the black-only water fountain.
Oh, yeah. He played the race card.
And he big time played the race card.
He's a fool, man. He just is.
Yeah.
And nobody's resonating with what he's saying.
No, he looked like an idiot standing up there.
He did.
I don't know what point he was trying to make, but I think it was missed. And then he was censured, and they all broke into song.
What exactly did they censure him from?
From
decorum.
Yeah, decorum.
Bad behavior.
So he can't join Congress or vote or anything like that. He can vote from home.
It's more like a nasty written letter.
Yeah, it's basically you embarrassed this institution.
How about for censure, when you're censured, like
Schiff was censured.
Yeah, but I mean, when you get censured, don't they remove you from certain committees?
I think they strike your comments. Or something.
They can. I don't know. I don't know
what the rules are. So what does it mean when someone is censured in Congress? I don't understand the.
I mean, it certainly can mean that they are removed, but the censure itself doesn't mandate that. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean, okay, you've been censured, so we have no choice. We're removing you from, blah, 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 blah. Let's see here. It is a resolution introduced by a member of Congress outlining the reasons for a censure. It's followed by debate and a vote. If the resolution passes, the censure is officially recorded. But what does it do?
It says up there, it means that the body, Congress, has formally expressed its disappointment of a member's conduct.
So it's just to embarrass them and to shame them.
It's a public reprimand. Basically, it's shame.
Cersei.
Should we give him the Cersei treatment?
Let's throw some poop at her.
Ding.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
Whatever. You know what? It was
bad.
I think that a lot of the Democrats out there and a lot of the blue dog Democrats out there, they're embarrassed about this. I mean,
sure.
they're making total asses of themselves, and they're losing their freaking minds. They have no idea what direction to go. They have no idea when you've got people like, oh my God, what is the guy with the glasses? He'll fart. I'm a brain fart.
Who?
Oh my God! You text the rich. Who's
Bernie?
Yeah, Bernie Sanders. Jesus Christ! When you are looking at Bernie Sanders as someone that could represent your party because you've got nobody else,
That's sad.
that's sad. There's who else can represent them? What is going on with my brain?
I don't know.
Oh,
Who's the Pennsylvania senator? Fetterman.
Fetterman?
Yeah, Fetterman.
Are you going through the same thing as John Fetterman?
Pardon?
Are you going through the same thing as John Fetterman?
I guess so, man.
Had a stroke?
I guess so. Yeah. I started back on my freaking cholesterol medicine. I'm thinking it's giving me some brain fog.
Cholesterol or blood pressure?
Both.
Both.
yeah.
Maybe we could get Prevagen as a sponsor.
I took
Yeah.
a She Legit thinking it was going to warm me up a little bit. I haven't taken that for a while, but it hasn't. I guess it hasn't kicked in yet. Bernie Sanders, that's his God bless name. You know, they don't know what they're doing. I mean,
they're lost. They have no leader. They have no direction. They have no plan of attack.
Well, they're not conveying any message whatsoever, except Trump sucks balls.
Yes, they're complaining. They're just
they're just angry. There's kids on the playground that are abusing other kids because their parents beat them. You know,
but if this whole thing was a sing-off or a dance-off kind of battle, they've got us.
Oh, they would definitely win. Yeah, there's been some hideous. I don't know what their point in doing this is. I don't know if they're all just hippies.
What was it? Pick your leader. Pick your superhero.
Oh, pick your. That was bad too. Yeah, where it was all the ladies.
Oh, it was
they were
so
jumping
bad.
down. It was a video game type thing. But
yes,
this guy from the NIH, or he was with the NIH, former director Frank Collins, broke into song, and it sounds horrible.
Well, this is a song for all the good people, all the good people who are part of this family. This is a song.
it does sound like a John Denver song. Ow!
We're joined to
What the hell is that?
Is that a shot?
That's not me.
Shot rang out.
So it's just all the good people, but the
Okay,
Then he's trying to get everyone to sing, but no one is.
Well, because nobody. Okay, first off, nobody has any idea what he's singing.
do that with me.
How embarrassing!
This is a song for all the good people. Come on.
Oh my God! He's like, "Come on, somebody, anyone, please help me!"
Everyone in the back. This guy over in the bottom left. He's
I
just
look like a fool. Help
really?
me!
Yeah. Then
Help
who
me,
are
help
these
me.
broads? Who are these?
My pimply teenage boys, what do we do?
They want to take away our protection.
Why are they wearing
for
masks?
their profit?
Because
We
they're
don't stand
embarrassed.
for that. Come and take it. Come and take it.
We are not leaving. We are
I'm not leaving. Woo!
You know, and I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all this shit. You know, I'm sick of it.
It's silly. It's what they're doing is just silly. Well, and then you have what's his name, Jeffries, in front of the Capitol building by himself,
Yes.
completely by himself, and just it looks so awkward.
I know he's the highest Democrat in the House. He has zero charisma.
No, none.
Zero.
And evidently, he was in charge of making that music video for the Dems.
Yeah, it wasn't the music video. It was
The super rocket or the superstar or the
I was under the impression
superhero.
it was Cory Booker. Cory Booker.
Oh, no, it's Cory Booker.
I'm told that
You're right.
wasn't.
It was
yeah,
Cory
he's
Booker.
the one that's kind of coordinating the social media
He's-
approaches.
He's failing.
He needs to. Yeah, they need to fire him immediately.
Yeah,
I know
he's
they're not.
failing.
He's probably not getting paid for that, but I mean, it's ridiculous. It's horrible.
Well,
Anyway.
you know, maybe they just. I don't have a solution for them except they need to change. They need to embrace Trump as much as they hate him.
Yeah,
they need to get
will.
off that bandwagon.
Yeah, they 100% will.
Well,
They won't though.
Yep.
They're too dug in at this point. I think you may see some folks fracture off because you remember when Obama won and the Republican Party. I don't know if it was this bad, but then you had the Tea Party kind
Yeah.
of rise up
Yep.
and kind of steer things a certain direction.
That fizzled out hard, though.
It fizzled out, but it brought Trump along.
Yeah,
Right.
I guess it did. It did.
And the Democrats may do some of the thing because I think at some point you're going to have a group of Democrats go, we need something different. and they'll call it something else. It won't be the Tea Party, but it'll be something else. It'll gain traction, and they'll just kind of hopefully leave that bullshit behind.
Yep.
Is what may happen.
You know, I mean, but what's interesting is I'm torn because the more they do this, the better off.
Oh, I know.
I mean, the country is not buying any of their drama.
Again, I think America is better when there are more than one party.
I agree.
So there needs to be it's just right now one party is just
trouncing
asinine. Well, one's just asinine. Their ideas are ridiculous.
I know.
They need to have, Democrats used to have, it wasn't like this. So it was, for one thing, they used to negotiate back and forth. Right?
Yep.
Now it's anything Trump, like the speech. They didn't applaud anything, not even the cancer boy who wants to be the cop, right?
I know, right.
Or the parents who've lost the soldiers and the ladies who were killed by the illegal immigrants and stuff like that. They sat on their hands and scowled.
They did. They did.
How is that going to win over America?
It isn't. They got it just totally destroyed for that.
They got to get over the whole resist. In fact, there were some of those little paddle signs they had, and some of them did say resist. Or maybe it was a T-shirt.
It was a T-shirt. The lady who left turned her back and it
yeah.
said "resist" on the back.
They just they needed a rebranding. I have a friend that's in Congress. I don't want to mention his name right now. I mean, we've spoke about him in the past, but I spoke with him earlier this week, and I was asking him, now's the perfect time for not necessarily for you to jump ship. I mean, you don't need to jump over to the Republican side, but you could make a name for yourself.
Right.
You could
take a stand that this is enough.
Yeah. You need to be a Democrat and start forging what the definitions of a Democrat are, and don't be bound by toting the line right now of the narrative that they're pushing.
Because it
Do
failed.
Your own thing.
Because it failed.
It failed.
And look, Fetterman
they
started
nothing from the election.
Speaking up. He was on The View, and he's in the limelight. I made a suggestion. I said, look, man, you're in South Texas. Jump over to Austin. Go to the Joe Rogan show. I'm sure he'd love to pick your brain. He also explained regarding the bank accounts in China.
Oh, really?
Yeah. You guys wanted me to share with you what he said?
I do.
So
I was pretty critical of that.
Yeah, you had mentioned it. So I'm going to try to paraphrase as much of this as possible, but long story short, he had a law offices across the United States, and one of them was in New York, and at the base of the building, there was a bank. It was the closest bank to him, and he opened up a bank account, 10 years, 15 years before he even ran for Congress. And it was that was the Bank of China, and it was in New York, and that's when he opened up his bank. And he says it was just a matter of convenience. I didn't think about it, and that's where it was at. And it
$100,000.
Well, I didn't even know that China had a bank in the U.S.
He said it was FDIC accredited and
I know, but still, it's still a Chinese bank.
I don't know how that works.
I
didn't question him, and maybe it was something he prepared to say, but it seems fair. If he did have an office and it was just a matter of convenience.
Well, I figured there was more to it. Otherwise, it would have become something a lot more than it did. So,
right.
I think. Well, again, I don't know if it's true or not, but until proof comes out otherwise, if it ever does, then you'd have to believe.
Well, I saw that some group is going after AOC because she used some taxpayer money for dance lessons and something else. I mean, and we weren't talking about like $850. So I mean, they're obviously like picking on her.
That's a little bit over the top.
Yeah, they're picking on her.
Yeah, that's kind of like you getting your watch paid for.
Right. Well, I mean, that was totally legal.
Somebody else paid for it.
Yeah,
maybe the dance classes were part of a program similar to your watch. It's part of exercise, right?
Which the taxpayers paid for.
Yeah.
I don't think so. But anyway.
Well, it doesn't matter who pays for it. If it's part of a program for mental health or physical health, it's, I
think it's the bucket of money that she paid with it for.
Yes, that's what it boiled down to.
So was it like her voting?
It was her campaign money.
It was her
campaign funds. Interesting. All right, well, that's a little different.
Or something like that. Anyway, but they were pretty critical of her response, too. She was like, she's always snarky. You know what I mean?
She's juggy, though.
No. Go slow. Go slow.
Oh, great.
Yes.
I mean, not to
She is. I think she's actually kind of I think she's pretty. And she's well-spoken. She's dumb, but, I mean, she's well... You know what? She's dumb and she's
misinformed.
Yeah, she's misinformed because she speaks well, and I mean, she's not dumb, but she says dumb things, you know?
Yeah, it does.
When Tom Holman kind of schooled her in Congress a couple years ago, I mean, she just sounded like a fool. Yeah. And who's this other? There's some black lady she's
Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, good
who's from
Lord.
Dallas, by the way.
Yeah, she's lost her mind, sitting there saying, "Well, you know, it's not illegal for them to cross the border on the South." You know,
no, she said to cross the border illegally.
It's not illegal.
She literally said that it's not illegal for them to cross the border illegally.
What a freaking dingbat!
She is not. Yeah, it's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but she's passionate. You know, you got to give her that. Now, hold on. Who does she represent? I know she's from Texas.
Dallas.
She literally is the representative from Dallas.
Yes.
I thought it was Houston. Oh, okay. Well, there we go.
No.
It's not a criminal violation to enter the country illegal. It's not a crime.
Yeah, it sure is.
It sure is. It's on the books.
Yeah.
You go through the port of entry.
And she's a lawyer, too.
It's 100% a crime.
So again, this is a failed effort, and I think what they're doing is they're pulling up all these C-string Congress folk to step up and make fools of themselves. It's like we need a few patsies to try to
take the fall.
Yeah, let's try to see what kind of things we can drum up. Hey, you know what? Sometimes there's a diamond in the rough that you don't know, and maybe something sticks.
They're sending them to the front lines to get mowed down, huh?
Yeah, and they did.
I think one of the reasons is because you have some severely old folks like Pelosi.
Yeah,
she looked really bad sitting there listening to that. Didn't she break her hip or have some kind of hip surgery or something like that?
I don't know.
But she needs...
Looked like she was shit-faced.
She may have been. But
I would be. If I were her, I'd be fucked up in there.
What are you going to do to me? I'm done after this.
Yeah, I'm a lame duck. There's a picture.
All right, what we're laughing about is they have a video of her in the State of the Union address or whatever.
Is she crying?
And they put a bottle of Jack Daniels in front of her.
Well, she knows she's probably going to go to jail.
Oh, my goodness. That is funny.
Man, I don't know. I mean,
what, 90? What is she? She's in her 90s, right?
No, she's not that old. She's like Biden's age, I think.
So 100 then.
Yes. Have we heard anything from Biden?
She's 84.
Since he left?
84 years old.
Hell no,
I've heard nothing.
Biden is exit stage left. In fact, of that exit, they are now pulling up all these pardons, and they're recognizing that with these executive orders that he's putting out, they're the auto sign feature, where they're not even authentic signatures.
Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At the end of his presidency, he wasn't signing anything.
He was just hitting the button, or somebody was.
Yeah, that's just it. Somebody was. So how does that make it legal?
So it's like a DocuSign kind of a thing?
Correct. They were saying that like two people, Jill and two people close to him, were basically in charge. Well, in the final...
So I'm kind of curious.
4 years?
Yeah. No, seriously, this is not good.
So is that, or are those legal?
Well, that's the question. So there's two things. Is that legal for him to hit DocuSign, or do you need something official? Like when Donald Trump signs things, he puts his name in build. It signs, it's an executive order, and he makes a big deal about it.
It's really weird, his signature.
But yeah.
With Joe Biden, it's kind of like, all right, well,
X. He just puts an X.
Well, I mean, it's not just the signature. Let's say he did sign it, but let's say he signed it, and you have the pardon out. They're thinking it's unconstitutional for you to pardon somebody that hasn't done a crime.
Right.
Preemptive pardon is what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know how that's legal, personally.
Yeah. So you're pardoned from doing anything. So basically you can go rob a bank and you're pardoned.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I did this, and I just snuffed some girl on Epstein's Island, and they just found out. But I'm pardoned. I got
whatever they find in your past, or
how
what
is
you
that legal?
I don't know.
It can't be. And that's the question. And that's what they're trying to bring up.
Is Pam Bondi getting into that?
Well, they're slowly but surely they're starting to pull back the onion layers, and slowly but surely it's like you got these U.S. aid factions of it that basically just disbanded once Kash Patel got into the FBI position. They just completely disbanded. It's like, where'd they go? Right. They were here one day and now they're gone.
Who is this?
Some sub committees for U.S. aid. They just disappeared. Poof, gone.
Oh yeah, everybody's running for the hills.
Yeah, and
they're shredding and burning everything.
Yeah. Yep, all the documents, politicals, says the official team's remaining staffers are shredding and burning these documents. Pam Bondi was requesting the Epstein files, and they're dragging their feet getting them to the manifest for the planes, etc.
This is crazy, man.
Well, I think
Trump is going after all the lawyers. This could be a little bit of a revenge.
He said he wasn't. He said he wasn't going to do that.
But the reality is, he is. He is. He's going after him. But is he? But it's a double-edged sword. So he is going for him revenge, but he's also going for him because they broke the law.
Right.
They went after him over bullshit.
He's going after the deep state, entrenched, unelected bureaucrats. And they happen to be the ones that, like the 51 who signed on to the bullshit, letter that said that the Hunter laptop was
not
was Russian.
It just happens to
Russian misinformation.
It happens to be the same people, so it looks like revenge, and I'm sure there is some revenge in there. But the point is, he's weeding out the people that are unlawful.
Yeah, it's this whole unelected bureaucracy that needs to be disbanded.
Absolutely.
New folks get in there, and it is greatly pared down. That's what they're trying to do. And like you said earlier, Sean, I think Doge kind of, the chainsaw came out a little early. I think it needs to be a little more surgical. But
they need to dial that back.
It was so chaotic.
They don't need the propaganda like that. Just let them do their jobs, and it doesn't need to be in the spotlight. Right. And let them sing Kumbaya and whatever the fuck they want.
Well, I heard a judge today said that $2 billion that Doge pulled back from U.S. aid, the judge says, no, you have to give it back to them because it's foreign aid for contracts that were already bid on and won.
Right.
Well, no, so it's not just that. It was not they just won them, but they completed the jobs.
Oh, completed too?
Yeah, they were completed jobs, and that's why they want to refund that money back. And that makes sense.
That makes sense.
I did the work, pay me kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with that.
Yeah. But $2 billion.
I know. Although, that's a drop in the bucket.
Oh, it is. It is, unfortunately.
But yes. I mean, shit, Stacey Abrams, NGO on top of NGO, shell company type of thing.
Yeah, like $6 or $7 billion.
I thought it was $2 billion, but yeah, I mean, it's insane.
I think there was two of them. One got 2 and one got like 6 or 7.
Right. And they had
how much of that is she funneling away?
Right, and they were not qualified at all to even get that money. There was
that was at the end when they said just start passing this money out.
Yep.
Give it away. Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to keep it.
Yeah.
Trump's going to take it away from you. So just give it away.
Insane.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, we'll change some gears here.
It was $2 billion. There it is. He's showing it right now. And she's like, I had some time on my hands, so I started an NGO. And the whole premise of it was to give, lower income people, poverty people, green energy appliances, right? I wonder how many they actually gave out. Crazy.
I bet it's to her pocket.
Right? No, it's just a mess. Anyway, but one thing I was going to talk about was Newsom.
Oh, yeah.
So Newsom desperate to get to the presidency in 2028. And I think he can smell that he's being dragged down by the Democrat Party, right?
I think you're right. He's trying to distance himself because he's, as much as I dislike him, he's still a smart guy.
Yeah,
politically wise, he seems like he can play the game. But
so he sat down with Charlie Kirk.
Well, because
I didn't see that. I saw that he did it, but I didn't watch it. I
saw snippets of it.
But it makes me ill to think about them too.
But he learned from Trump sitting down with Rogan, and other people sitting down with Rogan. He's learning the game. And then on top of that, he bucked the trend and he said it's not safe for men to be playing in women's sports.
Correct.
And that made the left lose their shit.
It did, and they're going after him, which is fine.
He's making it. So
well, the thing is, if he truly changed his mind, great.
Right.
That's great.
Oh, he's just playing the game.
He's going
to pick and choose the issues that are popular with the American people based on polling.
Probably.
And he's going to adopt them.
And he's going to flip-flop.
Absolutely.
But if he's truly changed his mind, that's great. But like you said, I think he is just a greasy politician.
Absolutely.
And he's saying what he thinks is going to get him elected.
Remember also that there's a ton of people within the Democrat Party that believe what we believe, They're moderate, like you were saying
But they're
earlier, the
afraid
blue
to
dog
say-
Democrats, right?
They're afraid to say it.
They would get torched by their own party if they don't toe
Just
the
like
line.
him. Well, he is.
Maybe so. Maybe you're right. Maybe he
That's
is
what you
being
do.
honest
I mean,
about how he really feels.
But look at John Fetterman. I mean, he doesn't give a fuck.
I love it.
I love the way he says, "Hey, man, look, I'm representing my state.
Yes.
And I want my state to win.
Yes.
And I want to migrate over to, look, I'm still a Democrat. I got Democrat values, and I'm going to vote Democrat from what I see. But some of the stuff is outrageous. I'm
Right.
not jumping on board with that.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just bought some new Adidas shorts. What do you think of these guys?
What?
What's what Fetterman would say, because he wears
Oh.
hoodies and shit.
Is that-
Why wasn't he at the State of the Union address? Or if he was,
Because there was a dress code.
Are you serious? Are you serious?
I don't know.
I mean, it seems reasonable.
I'm laughing because he wasn't there, and if he was there, I mean, I would have loved to have seen him in a suit. You know what I mean? Just to see. Oh, hey, okay, he's not in a hoodie for once. But I didn't.
Oh, I've
see
seen him in suits before.
They didn't show him at the
Yeah,
State
he's
of the
been
Union.
in suits. He's just,
He looks like he's just huge.
I know. He's probably uncomfortable.
He's a
in it.
large man. That's what he said. He goes, I don't know what his reasoning is. He goes, but he's a big man.
It's
he
just
likes to be comfortable.
It's
Yeah.
just inappropriate, though. I think
It is.
You can't wear hoodies to,
and it's
like-
not just extended to John Fetterman. It's extended to Elon Omar. You're not allowed to have head garbs in there and anything like that. You can't have hats. I mean, that was part of the rules. They're bending it for her, but it's also Elon Musk. He shows up in the Oval Office with his
T-shirt.
kid and
I
just
know.
T-shirt and a
inappropriately
ball cap.
dressed.
I know. That,
I mean, you could bring your kid and look. I don't want to disrespect him, but at the same time, do dress for success.
Not to mention
Well, hold on.
Zelensky when he showed up in his little garb.
Yeah, he's got his little pajamas on.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, Donald Trump brings his kids to work all the time.
Well, he lives there.
He's a grown.
I'm kidding.
Dude,
Yes.
when I'm at home working, shit, sometimes I don't even put on pants.
Oh. Wait, are you on video?
Well, you can't see it, so it's
Oh, you're like Tuber. No, who's the guy?
Jeffrey
that's-
Toobin.
Tubin.
Who's the one that had the
That's
top
Jeff-
was work and he had nothing underneath?
Well, Jeffrey Toobin started to,
Play with himself.
yeah.
I know that, but
Oh,
somebody
you got all excited. You're like,
No, Tuber.
I must have missed it.
Let's talk about it again.
It's called Tubin it.
No, I'm talking about the guy that had like a jacket in a jacket and a tie, and then there was a camera on the side for some reason.
Oh, I've
and
done that.
and he was in briefs.
Oh, when I worked downstairs and I had like a formal thing with the executives and stuff,
Yeah.
I'd be. It was funny because one time I got called out for it. I was on with my team and the vice president that I reported to and everything, and I was wearing a nice collared. It was just a collared shirt, and I had to get up to close the door behind me. And it was in the wintertime. I was wearing my flannel pants, so I had to get up and go close it. And my boss, the VP at the time, he started laughing. Then they all started making jokes at me. He was like, "Nice shirt and pants."
Yeah, nice shirt and pants. And then I go, by the way, 2024. He's gone.
The same thing happened to Shelley when she was interviewing for one of her teacher jobs. She had, she looked business from the top. I mean, she obviously has clothes on the bottom, but she was having trouble with the audio. And so she got up to come get me because, she needed my help. And I came over there and I fixed it and I turned around and I was like, "Did you get up and walk over here?" I go, "You're not." She's, "Oh my God. Oh my God." She's like totally panicking. But I think, I don't know if they made any comments about it, but yes, it was pretty funny.
Oh no, they made the fun out of it.
I'm sure they did.
It was good. It was
Well,
good
she ended
stuff.
up getting hired, so I guess it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Probably why.
that's
Could be.
right.
She doesn't shave.
We like people like that.
She's fresh.
Cool.
All right. So
All right.
we were talking about, we mentioned a little bit at the Whiskey Festival.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, you're for the podcast room, you've got, for those updates for those folks out there, we've got some movement, some traction going on with the construction over at the Jeff house with the water heater kind of exploding down and everything. We've got Operation Fix This Place Up, and so they're doing a lot of drywall repairs. Have they done painting?
It's done. Only thing left is carpet.
God bless. So they did all the painting.
They
Love it.
replaced the floor decking this morning.
Yeah, the substrate of the floor has been replaced. That was
Okay.
saturated, kind of
It was spongy.
sagging down, and it's kind of, the OSB kind of separates after when it
was
gets
bouncy.
exposed to water like that.
I got to tell you, so I was out walking the dogs, and my neighbor, who I got onto the podcast, got him turned on to it. I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He goes, "Oh, I'm actually listening to your latest podcast right now." And he goes, I'm hearing about Jeff's plumbing problem." I was like, sometimes I think about the shit we talk about. It's just like, why are we talking about this? Nobody gives a shit. And then sure enough, Ben, my neighbor's like, oh, he had a plumbing problem. What's going on with that, man? I was like, oh, that's so funny.
Well, it's kind of exciting because we're getting some new carpet in here, and it's gonna be fresh and good for us, and plus we're gonna have to tear down this room, which is going to be, it's not difficult to tear down. Setting up is more of the hassle than tearing down, but it's going to give us an opportunity to
groom,
manicure,
clean up a little bit.
The things I may. Whatever. I have some plans. I'll talk about it later. Some better wire management that's a little bit more easier, less. It would be whatever.
A little more professional.
So I'm anticipating.
Easier, for sure.
I'm anticipating when we hook it all back up, I'll have music in my left ear.
No, it all
and then
work.
I'll only hear Sean out of my right ear.
It's all going to be just spectacular
when I talk.
Well, I think it's important for to kind of talk about at least what I'm going through right now with the house, because it's not abnormal. This happens,
Yeah, it does happen.
This is the danger of having water heaters in your fucking attic.
And that's kind of what I was driving at, because they're, in a perfect world, when you think, all right, well, we have 4 things to do. Well, we had a water heater. Water dropped down. It caused damages.
Yeah.
Then you got to dry it out, and then there's so much due process that it's a pain in the ass because it takes so much time. You're thinking in real time, all right, guys, we should have this whole thing turned around in 2 weeks and be done. I mean, if you really think about it as a timeline, but it's just like you got to go back and forth with the insurance company. Are they covering this? Are they not covering this? And then who's going to pay for it? Then there's some cost. Well, that carpet's no longer available. This isn't available. Right. Hey, by the way, that paint's not going to match anymore. So what the hell? What are we going to do? It's kind of like,
well, and then you got to find out how much you're going to be given, because you kind of want an upgraded carpet because you had a shitty carpet before, and so does it cover it? No. Okay, am I willing to go over? Blah blah blah.
And you're
blah,
already
blah.
out the pocket the deductible,
right?
So it's just like good.
Well, then
Lord.
then you pick your carpet. You think you're going to get installed 1 week. They come out and say, oh, that whole line was canceled and discontinued. We need to pick a new one. Which it's going to work out because it's a better carpet.
Right.
It's a higher density, a higher weight.
The point is, it's a lot of hassle.
It is. It's just one thing after another, and it's just time,
But
the house is a wreck until
are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Correct.
Yes.
Just the fact that we came in today and I looked at the paint. I was like, that's fucking painted. Those holes are patched.
Beautiful.
This is an excellent thing.
That would be progress.
And when they come in, they waller out all the carpet and they put in some new stuff. We'll get a new shine in this room.
Are you going to get a lime green carpet?
Shag. Burnt orange.
Perfect.
Burnt orange.
Yeah.
With splotches of something.
Splotches, maybe some gold flecks.
Yeah. See, then we're talking. We got to jazz this room up.
We could take some new promo. We could I'll be nude doing the Burt Reynolds on it.
You lost me on the last one.
When he did with his Playgirl spread.
We are talking about video. I don't know when we're going to do it. But we got to talk about how we're going to dress, just like Fetterman, or are we going to dress like?
Oh no, we dress from the from the waist up and down below. Doesn't matter.
Nude.
Nice.
Yes.
And is there an under the table camera as part of the?
On yours, on your junk.
On mine?
Just on your junk.
Just sits there staring at my junk.
And it's just all kind of splayed and smashed.
I don't know if we can afford one of those cameras that zoom in that close.
Whoa. What do you mean there, Sean?
What do they call that? An electron microscope?
Macro. Hubble. Hubble. Yes.
Turn on the Hubble.
Yes. What is the new Hubble? They replaced it with one.
Yeah, I think they did.
Several years ago. Coming out with much, much better images now.
The James something. Isn't it James? They named
Taylor?
it after James Flynn. No, seriously, it's the James something.
The James Webb.
Dude, check me out. I get 50% credit.
50%.
Yeah, the James Webb telescope launched on December 25th, Christmas 2021.
Do you remember when they did Hubble? They put it up there and they screwed up the mirror. And they had to, and they had to send another mission up there to give it contacts.
I remember that.
That's true.
Essentially, what it was it was a contact. So they sent the astronauts out with a lens to put in between the mirror and the camera to make it focus.
So
really,
one company made one side of the mirrored lens, another company made the other side of the mirrored lens, and then when you see the laboratory, they're all wearing like the white, like they're doing surgery, right? And they're all like,
oh yeah.
Anyway, they fucked it up somehow.
And they didn't test it before they sent it up there.
Somebody messed up.
Somebody up there was like, "Hey Frank, I told you not to overcrank it. Now it's out of whack."
Come on, this is a 3-time zoom. I needed the 6-time zoom.
How much? How much was the Hubble telescope? It's probably like 600 million or 800 million. Anyway, yes, they screwed it up, and so they're like, "What are we going to do?"
Because they screwed up the mirror, didn't they?
Yes,
the initial mirror they put on there.
The grind of the mirror. Yes,
16 billion.
Oh, what?
Wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Okay, well, that might be.
Oh, that's adjusted for inflation, but still,
well, that might be also them operating it, like the whole thing. I don't know if that was how much they.
Does not include the cost of the space shuttle.
Damn. Okay. Well, anyway,
whatever, man.
So when the first pictures came back, they were super excited, right? And they were all fuzzy. They were. Well, and they were like, "What the hell? What's wrong?" And then they figured out.
Then they figured it out. But then you compare those good Hubble ones with what the Webb is producing. It's night and day again when you compare the two next to each other.
You mean James Webb is amazing?
Yeah, Hubble versus Webb. I mean, look at that.
Yeah,
technology differences, man.
We don't know. You know what? We spend money to try to get shit out there. You buy cars, you buy houses, you buy clothes. You figure it out. What works, and this is amazing. That James Webb one just sees things in focus that's way the hell out there. In fact, they were talking about, I'm going to use the word aliens, but I'm not saying there's aliens. What I'm saying is that they are seeing lights, constellations way out there, and they're insinuating that something is moving in front of those constellations and then moving back out, so that there's something's blocking it and it's not in a normal rotation. So they're insinuating that it could be a spacecraft or something.
Well, there's so many unknowns. It could be anything out there.
Oh, yeah.
Our knowledge is orbits.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something else out there that is completely different than that we just haven't come across yet.
Yeah.
Because all we know is what we can see and what we can theorize. Maybe so far out there, maybe there's something we haven't even thought of yet that can move around back and forth.
Dude, it's
big cloud of plastic junk.
Man, who knows? I mean, because it's actually infinity. I mean, we have no idea what the fuck. We live in a vacuum. We have no idea.
Dude,
we shouldn't even exist.
You're so right. I mean, we know so little about the universe. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But one thing I thought was interesting is you would think that the James Webb telescope, seeing as much as they can see, could see some details on the moon. Like they were like,
it's probably too close.
No, they can't. Like they were like,
they can't focus that close.
They said of the 6 flags that have been planted on the moon, they wanted to know how many were still upright. You know what I mean? And they were like, well, not even the James Webb telescope can see that. I was like, how is that possible? Like you would think it could.
I think
it's like it could see the atoms on that flag.
Well,
right?
That's what I mean. Maybe the focal point
is just
too
so
far out. Yeah, and the moon is too close. They have big telescopes down here that could probably see
It's
it.
like me trying to read my phone with my long-range glasses on.
There you go.
It's all fuzzy and shit. I can't read it.
Quadfocals.
Quadfocals. Yes. Well, maybe that's it.
Quadfocals.
They have trifocals. Why can't they make quadfocals?
They can. God.
Can you imagine all these little lines?
I know. You're like, okay, hold on. I want to look far. So do I need to look up and left, or do I need to look?
Yes.
I want my junk to look bigger, so you have like a wide lens on the very bottom.
It's like a fisheye.
Oh, I would just put a magnifying glass on my junk. So on the space thing, there was a private company that landed
on the moon.
I know, put a lander on the moon. That was a big deal.
Didn't it fall over?
When did this
No,
happen?
it did last time.
This
time it did not fall over. But I haven't heard much about it.
So what's it doing? Is it just sitting there?
Yeah, that's all they wanted to do.
That's what I mean. Are they taking core samples? Or?
Yeah, this thing's loaded with experiments. Yeah, I mean, it does all sorts of shit. So 2 private companies have successfully landed spacecraft on the moon as of March 11, 2025. Intuitive Machines, which is Houston-based, by the way. Texas. Go Texas. And number 2, Firefly Aerospace, based in Texas as well. They landed the Blue Ghost spacecraft in 2025, blah, blah, blah. I didn't even hear about this one.
That's what I'm interested in. So,
that's the first successful soft landing by a private company. It remaining upright and operational. There we go.
What's a hard landing?
On
where it
the
just
moon.
slams into the
kaboom. boom, it explodes into a million pieces, and they're like, "Yeah, we successfully hard landed."
Just to be clear, the Firefly Aerospace landed on the moon.
Correct.
Yes.
And now what?
That's a big deal.
That's what I said. What's it doing?
They hailed it as a historic achievement, first commercial lunar landing without crashing or tipping over. That just tells you how fucking hard it is, man. But yeah, I don't know.
We did it in the 60s with styrofoam and cups.
Well, but this was first private. Styrofoam and cups, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, so our lunar lander was one big solo cup?
You watch Apollo 13 or was it just dumped out a box that says this is what they have? Figure it out.
Okay, well, that's a little different. They were like trying to figure out how to fix the filtration system, not landing a solo cup on the moon.
So I just asked AI Overview about, what is the Firefly doing on the moon? It says, Firefly's Blue Ghost lunar lander deployed by Firefly Aerospace on March 2nd, 2025 is conducting a 60-day mission on the moon's surface, collecting data on lunar regolith.
Regolith.
Oh, it's regolith geophysical characteristics and interactions with the solar winds.
Since we go live,
while also studying lunar horizon glow.
Is it trying to find out if the moon is hollow?
Asshole. Maybe the reason why
my God, it's ringing.
Look, this is conspiracy here, but maybe the reason why they're not looking for those flags, I can't see the flag, is because maybe the flags aren't there.
They have telescopes down here that you can see the flags.
Some liberal went around picking them all up.
Are you sure? I haven't seen any. I haven't seen pictures of it.
Do you have a telescope?
Oh, you're saying
no? Okay, if you have a telescope and you can see the flags, why aren't there photos available through those telescopes? I haven't seen any. Mr. Producer.
Really?
To the mat.
Really?
What? Have you seen them?
You're suggesting we've never been to the moon.
No, I'm not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that there's not solid, outside of them saying it,
that we haven't been to the moon.
Even you guys just admitted that, they were a bunch of styrofoam, paper cups and stuff.
Don't say you guys. He said the solo cup on the moon thing. I believe it was a very sophisticated craft that built by very, very smart people. And that's why I think they landed on the moon.
Did they have red solo cups back then?
Red solo cup, I fill you up. Let's have a party.
And you have Neil Armstrong getting angry for people calling him out to the point where he's punching them. I mean, if it really happened, why is he getting all bent out of shape?
Because he's tired of people calling him a fraud.
He said you never met. He's like, fuck you, bitch.
One step for mankind.
I'm waiting for a picture of the moon from Earth.
One giant leap for mankind.
All right, so
it says they are no longer intact as rectangle flags exposed to unfiltered solar radiation for 50 years.
There we go.
Oh, what a load of bullshit.
It's the same shit that makes our cars all faded, the paint.
Yeah, you don't believe that?
Come on, dude.
So you're saying that the flags have deteriorated?
Yes.
Yeah. They're made in China.
My flag deteriorates outside.
They're made in China. They're not
It's
built
in a vacuum.
They're not built for
There's no
solar
atmosphere.
radiation.
There's no atmosphere.
So how could they be affected? Is it like dry rotting?
Solar radiation.
Solar
like
radiation.
Anything left out in the sun is.
Yeah.
So it's just cooking it.
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Radiation. I don't know, man. It seems highly skeptical.
So you'd rather believe a conspiracy than that?
I'm not believing either of them. All I'm suggesting is that, what about the pole? I mean, can you see the pole? You can't see the flag, but they have a mounting pole. Is that going to deteriorate by the radiation?
Possibly.
Damn it, he has us.
All right.
No, possibly.
How about the footprints? If they could see the flag, they surely could see the footprints.
The footprints would be there forever.
Or solar winds.
No one can see this. No one. Shit! It blew all my footprints away.
Good Lord.
So hold on.
They took a brush. It hit their spot.
So there's.
it would completely diffuse all these.
Well, hold on. There's something flying around the moon. There's something orbiting the moon, and it's able to take pictures of these sites. But the James Webb Telescope can't see it. But is that true? Can you? Can you
that
look
was a
up?
Chinese satellite that was able to fly back there, and they supposedly, no one's seen the dark side of the moon, but supposedly they have, and they've mapped it out.
Oh, are they building a base?
So scroll down a little bit, Chuck. It says it shows the Apollo landing sites and flagpole shadows.
It says no Earth-based or Earth-orbiting telescope has ever photographed a flag on the moon. The closest we
have our LRO images. I don't know what that means.
LOR. Oh, come on, dude. Really?
LRO?
They're called landing reopically of
but
from the
thing
lunar orbit.
is that
See, it shows the flagpole shadows, dude.
Yeah, but where are the pictures of those flagpole shadows? That's all I'm saying is that
look it up.
You know what I mean? If it's there,
show us
why don't they just put it out
images.
there? It's kind of like it's just like anything. If it's there, just show us. Diffuse this. Why do we have to argue about it? Just show us.
Look up LRO images, which is what we have right now.
You know,
Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. I was close.
Is it because the Earth is flat and that's the reason why?
See, that was my point. That was the thing that was orbiting the moon. It wasn't coming from Earth. It was something going around the moon can see that stuff. Yes, would you say the Earth is flat?
No.
Yeah, you did.
I did say it, but
I think it's convex.
It's convex.
It's convex. Because things appear smaller. That's why you can't see them.
Greenland looks bigger.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're getting wheels off here.
Yes.
All right, anyway. So now we know what LRO means. What did it mean? What, lunar?
We completely debunked Sean's theory.
Oh, we always do.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't think so because I haven't seen any pictures.
Flagpole shadows.
Yeah, you were supposed
to. Well,
to
they could say that all day long, just like Joe Biden was a competent president. They say that.
Yeah, the Dems did. They sure did.
Yeah, they did. Until they didn't. Okay. Wow.
Well, I wonder what they're going to do.
With Joe Biden?
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of Houston and all the rockets going out there, the Dallas Cowboys just sold a few Dallas Cowboy players to Houston.
I didn't hear about this. I know there's a lot of shit going on in the NFL right now. I don't know about selling. You're making it sound kind of gross. But some players were traded from the Cowboys to the Texans. I didn't hear this. All right, here we go. Here's some pictures Mr. Producer has up here. I don't see any landing sites with flagpoles. That's what you were supposed to look up. Nothing? Landing region?
It all looks the same. Looks like skin.
Oh, I see what you're showing us here.
Oh, yeah.
God, see? Even something orbiting the moon can't even take a picture close enough to...
Well, that's how big the universe is.
Look, there's an arrow pointing to a little dot. Well, there you go. There's your proof, Sean. What are you worried about?
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, there's a picture. There you go. See, look.
It's right there.
It's right there. Hold on. Look closely. Did you blink? It's right there. It's right there. See it?
Oh.
And you know what the crazy thing is we know more about the surface of the moon than we do about the ocean floor.
I know. That's crazy.
You know?
I know. Well, I mean, it's like miles down.
Well, which one is more inhospitable?
Ooh.
Which one's harder to get to? Obviously, the bottom of the ocean because very few people do it.
No, I think the bottom of the ocean is harder to get to because of the amount of pressure that's involved. Out in the universe, out in the space, it's not like that.
I'm going to disagree. The only reason why we haven't gone down there is because, yes, it's difficult, just like it's going to the moon is difficult. But if there was some strategic reason or, you know what I mean? If they really felt like there was a reason to go down there, it would be easier to go there than it would be to go to the moon, in my opinion. And yes, enormous pressure you have to deal with, but there's no, dude, just getting terminal velocity. Putting a lunar lander on the freaking rocket and getting out of the Earth's atmosphere, much less getting to the moon, is unbelievable.
Oh, I agree. Plus, you can't get out and walk around down there like you can on the moon.
Right.
But, what happened to that, that submersible, 3-4 years ago that
that was awful.
Instantly imploded?
That was awful. Did you ever hear the audio of that?
They said that it wasn't even it was so fast.
Yep.
The speed was not even a second. It was like less than about a quarter second, and the speed of it imploding was so fast it created enough friction to ignite the oxygen in there.
Yeah.
But if you slow it down, you can hear very, very slight, very silently. It's like,
shit!
No, you hear ow. That's all you hear.
I don't know even about that. Just kind of like, I mean, imagine a quarter second.
Dude, you wouldn't know.
They didn't.
You were there, then you weren't.
I'm being insensitive, but the fact that when they died, they were like, "Do you think they felt anything?"
No,
absolutely not. It was as if they had been erased instantaneously.
Yes, they're just a mist.
God, this is awful. And then they show the debris. Did you see the picture of the debris on the bottom of the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, by the way, that was complete negligence on the founder of that thing.
He was in there with them.
I know. And he was an idiot. And apparently people were warning him, and they were dropping out of the project and out of the company. They were like, I can't sign on to this.
Yeah.
This is dangerous what you're doing. There were cracks They were saying, dude, there are cracks here.
Well, he designed that.
Unbelievable. The fact that a billionaire and his son went down there with him. How many people were there? 4 people? 3 people? How many people
There were like
perished
5
in
or
that?
6, I think. There were
Yeah,
quite
there
a
was
few.
like 5 or 6. There was
I don't think there were
a
that
father
many.
son. There was the driver, and
I
then
thought there
was
were
a-
4, but what? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I mean, is that a picture of it? I thought there was like nothing left of the thing.
No, there were pieces.
Yeah, I would imagine that part of it imploded, and it who knows? It could have imploded in a section
Right.
and went punk and just kind of crimped everything, and then all of a sudden, maybe it didn't crush them into.
Well, the water would end up crushing them. Maybe it just
it
broke open,
yeah,
and then the water.
and then it released everyone in there a big old bloop, and that's kind of what I think that
It was just-
the Navy boats heard, because the Navy said that they heard it,
Yeah, they heard
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
and they were like, yeah, that sounded like an implosion. We know what that sound is, and
That's
they should have
crazy.
made that public.
You could hear it.
So Stephon Diggs, they traded to the Houston Texans.
Trayvon Diggs
Trayvon.
I was going to say, Stephon Diggs is already
is his
there.
brother. So the brothers are playing together.
That's right.
All right. We need to discuss our bourbon. We could talk about the Cowboys and free agency
Bourbon.
in second half.
What do you mean?
There is no more.
What do you
We
mean?
finished it.
Oh.
So where's the bottle at?
This is Willett.
This is Ezra Brooks 107. This is
The Ezra Brooks Distillers Collection, charcoal mellowed. So this is from Ezra Brooks. Who was the distiller on this?
it's
Is this-
Lux Row
is this Lux Row?
Distilleries.
Yeah, Lux Row.
Kentucky.
It is 53.5.
So it's a 107 proof.
Yeah.
So I like this one. It's
I know
easy drinking.
I'm breaking decorum, but give me a slight more, one more pour so I can.
Just lick the cork.
Both Chuck and I are like,
what's he doing? That's not fair. Okay, by the way, you guys drank a bunch of bourbon when I wasn't here, so
That's not true.
No, it is true.
Damn
yeah.
it, Jeff! What?
He
It
sees
is
the
true.
bottle.
I saw all the bottles, and one of them was blue corn or whatever, and I was like, "Damn, that's an expensive one."
We have blue corn.
I don't remember that.
Fuckers! It was on the table.
Oh, that no. Someone brought that.
I don't remember.
What do you mean brought that? You pulled it out of the collection. You guys drank it here.
We don't have blue corn.
Not true.
We never bought blue corn.
True blue.
Balcones? True
Yeah.
Blue.
True blue. Balcones.
Oh no! We didn't.
It was on the table.
I didn't drink that. I think someone else. We
No, I pulled out the mezcal, Yellow Rose that you brought.
Mm-hmm. You guys broke the cardinal rule.
Anyway,
We don't drink all that unless we're all here.
Sean.
Don't go away.
Something shit happens.
All right. So Ezra Brooks, this is handpicked from Extraordinary Barrels. What do we think of this?
All right, here we go. I've been drinking it all night, but now I'm in evaluation mode.
So a detailed breakdown of the tasting notes. So let's talk about the nose.
Well, we got our malt meridian.
Oh
here.
yeah, let me get my.
Before you
work-
read the AI, let's see if we can come up with anything.
Okay, we got a worksheet. All right, here we go. Let's see.
I think it's kind of on the nose, kind of sweet.
Well-
I get some pecan. I get some pecan in there. So hold
It is
on.
sweet, like marshmallow sweet.
I'm looking on the chart here. The circle of life, the whiskey circle.
This is the what you call it? Liquor lexicon.
Cinnamon.
You get cinnamon,
I'm picking up the sweetness.
maybe nutmeg.
Maybe some sorghum.
Oh, good one. Where's that on the wheel of?
That's right there.
Where, is it really?
On our flavor atlas.
Yes, it's
Sorghum is not on here. Where is that?
It's right there next to buttery.
Oh my god. Okay, you're out of the game.
It's
All right.
next to molasses, sorghum, and butter.
Okay, now we're moving on to the
All right. So the taste.
taste. Here we go.
I'm picking up some caramel in this, definitely.
So AI brings in cinnamon, wood sugars, hazelnuts, smoky oak marshmallows, all charred.
We don't care
That's
about
the
AI.
nose.
We want what we know, what
I
we
get
can pick
nuts.
out.
So far,
Now
I'm
that
on,
you said all that, we're going to taste it all.
no. So far, I'm on pecan and nut. pecan and nut. So I guess I'm on the tree part, the tree slice.
You're picking up wood?
No, I'm picking up nut.
I knew that's why he wasn't here last week.
No, I wasn't doing any wood. All right. Pecan and nut. Okay, well, I'm sorry. We're looking at our little chart here.
They have no idea what we're looking at, so you need to tell them what you're looking
That's
at.
what I just said.
Yeah, but what you got to tell
it's a worksheet. It's a wheel.
It's called the Whiskey Rye, the Taste at Home worksheet. So it's a big wheel, and at the very center of the wheel, they have
five categories:
tree, sweet, botanical, grain, and spice, and it all stems out from each one. The next tier, is rich, aromatic, floral, fruity. Cereal, breads, dry. Paul likes more of that stuff, and then it has another tier that breaks it down even more. Butterscotch,
a little more flavors,
caramel, kind of gets a little bit more like marshmallow, honeysuckle, etc. And then there's another couple tiers that are even further out.
I can't even read that.
Yeah, I can't read that.
Which one? I can read all of them.
No, these little
right past citrus on the botanical, fruity, and then the citrus.
Yeah,
orange, grapefruit, lemon, apple, pear.
I can't read it because there's no fucking light in here.
Anyways, it is a great wheel to look at if you're trying to figure it out. So it's a worksheet. You take this and you kind of like, hey, what do you guys taste? But we've been doing this so long, and we
found
just kind of
sorghum.
shoot from the hip here.
We're pros.
This one right here from Lux Rose. First of all, Lux Rose is a pretty reputable company that puts out a great product.
They do Rebels.
Yeah.
Rebel Yell.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, I'll call it Rebel Yell. In fact, they got all woke and we're like, we're going to remove the word yell because we don't want people to think of us as like we're rebel losers and racist and stuff. I was like, come on.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't do that. Hold on to heritage, man.
Yeah, actually,
it's heritage, not hate.
Actually, this is not too bad.
It's good.
It's easy to drink.
I like it.
I think the sweetness makes it easy to drink.
What did you say the proof was? Sorry.
107.
Ooh, very nice.
It's right in that sweet spot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for it to be...
Doesn't even taste 107.
I was going to say...
My wife did not care for this.
It's not harsh.
So the palate offers a sweet experience with caramelized wood sugars, vanilla creme brulee, and that's just absolutely dominating.
I agree with that.
The finish, the 107 proof provides a warm and long finish with notes of cinnamon and Nutella.
Nutella.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Hazelnut.
I've never heard
the hazelnut, yeah.
I've never
hazelnut.
Nutella's never been thrown out. It's not
Some people mention
on the wheel.
Chocolate, mint, nutmeg. You mentioned nutmeg, right?
I did.
Nuts.
Thank you.
Yep.
How about that?
And a slight peppery spice.
I'm picking it up on the, when you say creme brulee, I think of when you have a marshmallow over the fire. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Those s'more type, before you make them into s'mores, the marshmallows, we have them over the fire, they're all melty.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of pick up.
Nice.
I like it.
I like it too.
I won't kick this out of bed. In fact,
this is readily available.
Yeah, well.
Ezra.
We're still good. We got half a bottle. We got good enough for another round.
Oh, yeah.
No, they have, but they have lots of different, they have a mixer too, Ezra Brooks.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they have a whole bunch, right?
Yeah, they do.
They're not one of those exclusively high proof, exclusively, whatever. They have a whole range of bourbons out there.
Yeah.
This is good. Distillers collection. This is good. I like it.
It was good. It's tasty. Recommend it. Easy drinker. You could sip on this. My wife didn't like it. She said it was too hot, alcohol-wise, for her. But I know I'm not picking that up on this.
It says it's hand-picked from extraordinary barrels. Interesting. So if we're wrapped up with that, did we already talk about how Kentucky's getting a little nervous about this Canadian
the tariff?
Well,
I've seen all kinds of photos and stuff where, what happened to your camera? It looks all schmeggy again.
He's taking a selfie and it's all smegma.
It's got your Vaseline all over it again.
Yeah, it's got sticky stuff on the camera, I think. What have you been doing with that camera?
Keystering it. But anyway, yeah, I've seen pictures of the liquor stores pulling all the bourbon off the shelves.
Yeah, that's so extreme. It's not necessary.
But it doesn't fucking matter.
They've already paid for it.
Yeah, they paid for it, so fuck them.
And the governor of Kentucky's like, you guys are disproportionately, being all kind of bent out of shape about this. But then he kind of took a dig at Trump. He's like, I don't support this, and tariffs are not the way to go. And
there you go. That looks better.
That's much better. All right, we had a selfie.
I'm sending that to Larry Couvion. He just texted me.
Nice.
But yeah, I think they are a little overreacted. I think they got a little butt hurt.
Well, dude, they're booing our anthem.
Yeah.
Every time they hear our anthem, they're booing our anthem. So I mean, what the hell, man? Yeah, they're taking it to heart. Trump's played hardball to negotiate. That's what he always does. He trolls and gets emotions fired up, and they're going all out on it. And
well, Ontario enforced a 25% tariff on the electricity that they bring in, probably for the Northeast, right?
Yeah, sure.
So then Trump turned around and says, all right, we're putting 50% on your steel.
Right, and aluminum.
And Ontario, I believe, has already caved.
Good.
And
the whole thing, okay.
Look, if you're gonna put a reciprocal tariff on somebody, it's stupid. At a certain point, you just say, okay, look, if you're going to charge us 20%, we're going to charge you 20%.
Right.
I got an idea. How about you don't charge us 20% and we both just drop down? I
Right.
mean, it just makes sense. Now,
Right.
I understand that there needs to be some sort of payment for some of the processes. Maybe 5%, maybe. I don't know. What's normal? What do we charge China?
for what?
For tariffs. I mean, Trump applied a tariff when he was in office, and they were just like, "I can't believe you've applied that tariff to China." And then when Joe Biden got in office, he went and didn't do shit. He left the tariff there.
Well, I can tell you that on computers and shit like that, it was 25%.
So can we dig into this a little bit?
Because it was a
I
pain
think
in
a
the
lot
ass
of
for
people
me.
get confused about what exactly the situation is and why Trump's doing what he's doing. We have a trade deficit, a massive trade deficit with many countries in the world, right?
Yeah, they tariff the shit out of us, so
Right.
our stuff doesn't sell over there.
Okay. All right. So that's what it is. So it's not that they don't. It's not that they're refusing to buy our goods. It's just that they've made our goods too expensive to be competitive in their market.
I believe India has 100% tariff on Harleys.
Fuck me. That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, and that's what. So we've been getting just taking it up the butt by the whole world for so long, and Trump is like, okay, enough's enough, right? So is it 100% that they are putting tariffs on our products, or are they simply not allowing our products into their markets?
Yes.
Which one is it? Both?
Yes.
It's both.
So they're wanting us to pay extra. Actually, we don't have to pay. The people that are importing our stuff pay the tax. So when someone applies a tariff to us, let's just say, when it comes to our when we import it, the importers pay that tariff.
Right.
So if the importers are in the United States and we're ordering stuff from China, the importers pay that, and that gets turned in. The United States citizens have to pay it.
Yeah. They pass it forward.
But when you are in the negotiation phase and you say, all right, well, that product I'm about to buy from China, product A, cost $100, and it's going to hit our border. Now it's $125. I'm not paying that. Why don't you drop your price to $80 to compensate for that tariff? And that's
Right.
kind of what the play game is. And they don't want to fucking do that either. All right, well, get with your freaking country and let's lower the reciprocal tariffs. It's stupid.
So but in a macro level, so the reality is we're buying way more of the world's products than they are buying of ours. And
100%.
So that screws our manufacturing. That screws.
Yeah,
our
but are we really
job
making a bunch
opportunity.
of stuff?
Well, that's the whole point. There's no point in making anything here because you can't sell it anywhere.
Well, that's by design because everything is made in Hong Kong or China.
Everybody wants cheap Chinese product.
Right.
They don't want. That's why Temu is so popular. They want that cheap Chinese product.
Yeah, disposable shit.
Right. So
Yeah,
pull
Oriental trading.
Yeah. So pull up what you had there.
pull that
All right.
back up. So look at some. These are the tariffs that Canada has on U.S. product.
Okay, let's hurry up. Is this legitimate? What's the website here? Because
This is X.
Okay.
Plato's Cave Shadows.
All right, so we don't really know if
I don't know
this
if that's accurate or not.
Okay,
but
we don't know, but let's just read it anyway. Go ahead, Jeff.
It says so. The number one, butter, approximately 298% tariff on American butter, part of Canada's supply-managed dairy sector, which imposes high tariffs to protect domestic production. Domestic meaning Canadian production.
So they're protecting their own, butter makers, right?
So,
their own dairy farms and stuff like that.
So, and then milk, approximately 270% tariff. It's another supply-managed dairy product with significant tariffs to limit U.S. imports. Basically, all of these are to benefit their Canadian country, which, okay, I get that. But then you can't bitch and turn around when we do a reciprocal.
Yeah, we want to protect our dairy farmers.
We want to protect. We're not going to take your steel because we want to protect our steel industry.
Right. Fair enough.
I never understood that. I 100% don't understand that. We were charging China zero.
Yeah,
zero.
That's crazy.
Bring your shit over here. Let us get all your shit for as cheap as possible.
Right.
And they're fucking us when we try to sell our stuff over there in the United States.
And I guarantee there were people that made similar products that come out of China. They made it in the United States, and very quickly they realized, unless people, hey, made in America, buy my products, you're going to pay about $10 more than you would buying the shit off of Amazon. But, but that people don't care.
Well, manufacturers in the United States, guys that owned companies, would basically, that's what they were doing. They were subcontracting, let's just say, it's TV, whatever product it is. They're like, all right, well, I just invented this. Let's go ahead and make this. And we want this to be manufactured in China. Well, China says, all right, well, give us the plans and we'll do it. And you have to make out a detailed contract with them about intellectual property and all that stuff.
No, they steal it anyway.
At the end of the day, they just steal it. They come up with a phase 2 or a second generation one.
Yep.
Sometimes it's fucking better, for a fraction of the cost.
Yep.
They turn around and they sell it right back without any tariffs.
Yep.
And
you'll see some of these, because when I was looking at some T-shirts, I wanted to buy some American-made T-shirts.
Right.
So it'll say printed in the U.S., but the T-shirts come from China.
Right.
So, but they're buying all these Chinese T-shirts, just going over here with a little silk screen, and they're going to print them.
But again, they're trying to compete.
Yeah.
They can't compete.
Right. They can't because of the tariffs.
And we've got unions, and we've got high wages, and we've got this, and we've got that, and people making shit here just can't compete.
We have OSHA, and we have all these regulations.
Correct.
Over in China,
let's do what you want.
They're leaping off the buildings.
Yeah. Yeah, they have workers getting sucked into the T-shirt machine.
Well, that, and they've got a huge community of people in jail, wiggers and all kinds of things they've got all these
slave labor.
Yeah, just on top.
That's fucked up, but it is what it is. So I don't blame Trump for wanting to put America first. That's what he's doing. All right. There we go.
Well, it's March 11th. It's the first half of our Dudes Like Us podcast. The second half, we're going to be bringing up what happened today in this year, or what happened in this year today.
This day in history.
This day in history. We're talking about the Spirits of Texas Tasting that's coming up March 22nd.
Yeah,
Dudes Like Us will be out there. Jeff will be gallivanting, visiting family in Ohio, right?
I'll
the Bourbon Trail.
I'll be in the car.
You'll be on your way back. Yeah, you'll be recovering.
Yes, I won't be gallivanting.
We'll talk about that too.
I wish
we'll
I
talk
was
about
there.
that too. I want to hear about your trip that you're planning up there.
All right.
Yeah, lots of stuff to talk about. Dudes Like Us, I'm Sean.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Producer, Mr. Chuck.